my boy Sperry Springer, not Jerry Springer.
Come on, man, shout out to Sperry Springer. My young nigga wild like Jerry Springer. God!
Sperry Springer, how to go out in the streets, man. I stamp that, nigga.
Back out in Colorado.
Yes.
It's crazy because last time, Aurora in the studio, that was my last stop before I hit the airport.
Yeah.
This time I came through. This is the first stop.
This the first stop. You on the west side with it.
Yeah.
This way. Yeah.
We got Renee back. We did an interview like a year ago. Yeah, about a year ago.
About a year ago.
What's different from a year from ago now with you, and then also what's different with Colorado and the music scene?
Okay. Well, first of all, shout out to fucking Sperry Springer tapping back in, you feel me? It's Renee and this motherfucker, you feel me? It's all love, period, all like that. So what's been different from last year to this year?
More chains. I see.
More change, you feel me? Yeah. New car, new momentum, you know what I mean? New energy.
More tats?
New work.
Or are they the same tats?
Yeah, new tats. You feel me? All that. But really, I would say what's new in the city, of course, is, you know what I mean, we got a lot of stuff changing as far as work. The city I'm from, Aurora, as far as malls, as far as artists, as far as, you know what I mean, everything, studios, everything. Like you said, when you tapped in last time, we was on like 13th and Chambers. And now that same person that was running that studio is over here.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, just being in Colorado, that's one thing that we have to struggle with because there's not a huge culture out here, you know what I mean? So the studio's kind of like when you have one stuck and you stick with it, you kind of got to move around with it too, you know what I mean? Because they don't, like this ain't Atlanta where you could just have a studio for 2-3 years. They let them have it for like probably 6 months, a year. I think the only one that's like slid the longest is like Side 3. At like one location, like all these studios been up and running, but at one location in Side 3. So I would say that's the only complication right now is just trying to, you know what I mean, find stability in the studio, you know what I mean? But besides that, I done got signed this year. Whoa. I done worked with plenty of more artists in the city and out of the city. I got tracks with Lil Mosey. I got tracks with DaBoii. You feel me?
I got from SOB.
Yeah, I got a lot of tracks coming out. That's gonna be fire, no cap.
Damn,
so
that's big.
Yeah.
I see. I didn't know all about that. That's dope.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about it. It's on the tuck, but
what all went into, like you said, you got signed. Like, I mean, how did that go about? Was that something that you always had in the cut? Like, you know, I got opportunities, or did it come out of nowhere type shit?
So, I had met who I'm signed to. I had met Scorp Diesel a year, maybe 2 years before that. I had met him because he's tapped in with some of my brothers from Aurora, and they just kind of introduced me like, this little sis, she do our hair, whoop, 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 you know what I mean, at a section. Yeah. Then boom, after that I started doing hair. Then I started doing music the next year, and then I guess he just always was just following me, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then he started his own label, which is Diesel Music, and then he reached out to me, and at that time I was signed to another manager, Coco, and I was ending that contract. But while working with her, I was able to go over the contract that he was proposing to me with the lawyer and all that, and just, you know what I mean, figure out if it was going to be something that would walk me into an opportunity or be beneficial for me, you know what I mean, actually fuck with somebody that believes in what I got going, that has the credentials behind them, you know what I mean? So
what's the difference, like, because, you know, a lot of people aspire to get signed, and a lot of niggas rapping like, I ain't signed a deal, fuck that.
Yeah, I want to be independent, da-da-da-da.
Like, what's the difference in actually being signed? Like, what changes? I don't, like.
So what I say what changes is, like I said, the credential, the name that's behind it, I would say. So, like, if I walk into a room and I walk into a room, boom, I got to sell myself off the dribble. How I look, you know what I mean, how I talk, everything. Yeah. Okay, boom. So if I walk into a room with a label, they might already know the label. The label's already respected, boom. So this is my artist, she got this coming out, we pushing this, you know what I mean? And all the label wants is what they're putting in, giving back, you know what I mean? And maybe a little cut, which is obviously respected. That's anywhere, you know what I mean? You put a little bit in, of course I'm going to have to give you a little bit more back, period. You know what I mean? So I think walking into, because the deal that I'm in right now isn't like a major deal, you know what I mean? So he's trying to walk me into like a major deal, you know what I mean? Like QC, Atlantic Records, you know what I mean? what's the one that we met with Motown? You know what I mean? There's just a lot of opportunities that's out there that's actually just gonna cut that check right there. You know what I mean?
How does all this shit like? Because you know, I manage a couple artists back home in Texas, and like you know, these are actually some of our goals is to actually step in one of these offices. Like when you talk to these people or you do have meetings and shit like this, like. Is it like what's your mind like? Is it like damn I'm this close to my dreams? Is it nerve wracking? What is it? Like,
so for me, I don't think nothing's really nerve wracking as far as when it's time to talk about it or you know what I mean, put the music on the floor. But I would say it gives you a different type of energy. It's more inspirational for me because I'm like, if I am granted this opportunity to sit in the rooms with big dogs, you know what I mean, and I'm so still fresh in the game. Like I know I'm 2 years in now, but that's like still fresh. You know what I mean? So me stepping in the room with majors like that, I'm like, damn, bro, okay, you really got something going on. You know what I mean? So when you sit there and they telling you, okay, you got to do this, you need to fuck with these people, you need to do this, you need to market here, you know what I mean? You got to sit down and take all them notes because nowadays, like with this pandemic and all that going on, you got to pay for everything. So just us talking, that's free game. You know what I mean? Like niggas is paying for game nowadays. So every time I sit in a room with somebody, I'm listening, I'm focusing, you know what I mean? They might not say something I like to hear, which I ain't never been in that position, but I would never feel some type of way if I did hear something I didn't want to hear, you know what I mean? I would only take that and apply it where I need to fix, you know what I mean? So I would say I like where I'm at right now. I like where I'm at.
And it's a blessing, man. I'm happy for you.